Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today we're making some delicious honey garlic salmon, but this time we're baking it. Let's get into this. So the first thing we're going to do, of course, is line a baking tray with some foil wrap. If you want to use parchment paper, fine, but because of the high temperatures that are going to be used, I prefer to use the foil wrap because it won't dry out and burn the way the parchment paper would. So I'm just sealing these edges here because the foil sheet is smaller than the pan, so I'm just putting these two together, and this is how I do it sometimes. I kind of fold this and then crease it, and then that just prevents a huge mess on the baking tray. I have a beautiful seasoning mix here, really simple ingredients, but they'll do the trick. I'll leave all the details in the description, of course. Now, sometimes when I'm seasoning any sort of protein, I'll put the seasonings on individually. But to be honest, it's better when you mix all of them together in a bowl and then apply everything. That way, every single inch of the fish gets an equal amount of each seasoning. Sometimes I just do it individually, but this is definitely better. So we put some olive oil on there. This is the skin side, so that's why that center portion is a little bit darker. So just sprinkle on your seasoning after you do the olive oil rub, and that olive oil, it just helps to keep that seasoning stuck to the fish. So after we do this, we are going to flip it and add the rest of the seasoning. I already have a video on my channel for the pan-fried version of this, but I wanted to do this big whole fillet in the oven for you guys so you can have an idea of how to do this in the oven, especially if you're having like a lot of people over and you don't want to have to cut up each piece. You just want everything to be family style and everybody just helps themselves. Then you can do the salmon this way. If you're able to season the salmon overnight, that is beautiful. But if not, you can season it the day of. Just make sure you rub in the seasoning and press it into the fish so it soaks up everything. For the stovetop version of this, guys, many of you love it. That video has like over 400,000 views, I think. That one is on the stove, but this is in the oven. So because we're doing this in the oven, we have to prepare that sauce and then cool it down and apply it to the fish. We don't want to put the warm sauce on cold fish because that just spells trouble for your stomach. All right, so we have to do this sauce, cool it down, and then we'll move on. So this is honey garlic salmon, guys, so don't be shy to use a lot of garlic, and we're gonna cook the garlic for maybe a minute or so. We're not trying to get it super brown because it's gonna go in the oven as well, right? You just want to cook it for a minute or so that it gets softer and that it just gives off more of that wonderful garlic flavor. Once everything comes together, you are going to simmer this over medium heat just until it's thickened slightly. It's not going to be super thick, but you'll see that it's getting a little more syrupy, and then allow it to cool down. As it cools, you'll see it gets even richer and thicker. So once that sauce is cooled down completely, then you can spread it all over the salmon fillet. You can use your spoon, you could use a spatula, you could use a brush, just to get a lot of that sauce all over the fish. And what we're going to do is we are going to broil this today, because sometimes when you bake the salmon, it takes longer for it to cook. So then you end up overcooking the salmon. But if you broil it, you get that beautiful color, but it also is heated through enough to cook it, and then it remains tender. So we're broiling this today. So you're going to need to turn on your broiler. So that means heat will only be coming from the top of the oven. And we'll put this in the oven, guys. Alright guys, it's out of the oven. It's looking gorgeous. So that was about 4 to 6 minutes. You'll notice that the sides might start to really caramelize, and they might burn a bit. So just fold in the foil paper now to cover those sides so that they don't burn any further. But just leave the salmon open so that we can put some more sauce on top and put it back in the oven to finish up. So again, I folded the foil inside just over those parts that were burnt, because of course the sauce runs down and it starts to caramelize. So just cover that so it doesn't burn anymore. That's if it did burn when you were making it, right? Fold over the foil and then just spoon up all of that nice sauce all over the salmon, and then we're going to put it back into the oven with the broiler on just the same. So be very generous with the sauce, guys, because you want the salmon to have a beautiful color at the end. And here we are, guys, out of the oven. Really beautiful. Before you serve this, you want to take some of the extra sauce that you might have in the pot or in the bowl that you have it in, or scoop it up from the tray and just spread it all over the salmon right before you serve it. So it has that beautiful gloss and that nice tasty sauce all over it. It's super tender, guys, and it's really flavorful because we seasoned the salmon well instead of just relying on the sauce. I know you're gonna enjoy this immensely. It is so tasty. So give it a try and let me know if you like this version or if you prefer the stovetop version. I will link that in the description below, so check that out as well. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.